Peace, peace. Tasha this one. And I want to do a video, man, real quick on basically, some a young lady left a comment in my left a message or a comment saying basically how immigrants built this country, right? And I was telling her like, what immigrants? You talking about European immigrants, or you talking about Hispanic immigrants? What immigrants are you talking about that you claim that built this country? Because first of all, European immigrants didn't build this country. Who built this country was blacks, okay? With maybe some European help or whatever, but the majority of that money came from some of the slaves that was here, because we know that it was white slaves, right? So for all you Latinos and Hispanics who always claim, oh, um, immigrants built this country. Okay, well, we're gonna look and see the census of what immigrants are you talking about, and we even want to look up and see when you people got here, because a lot of Hispanics and Latinos was not here in the early. Well, they was not here in the 1800s. They didn't even have a census count of them in the 1800s. And let's check it out. All right, so what I'm showing you right now is basically this is the Wikipedia. This is history, racial, and ethnic demographics of the United States. All right. So what I'm gonna show you right here is basically, all right. This say race and ethnic demographics from the 13 colonies. Total numbers between 1610 and 1750. So it's telling you from 1600s to 1750 what was the people, I guess, that was documented in this country. Okay. So look. So we're gonna go here. So we see whites here. We got blacks here, also called Negroes. Okay. They ain't even got no Indians on this census right here. All right. So it say from 1620, it was 20, 30, it was 60. So it's saying in 1630 it was only 60 blacks or Negroes. Then 1640 it was 597, and so on. So you get all the way. So from, let me see something. So from 1610 till 1700s, there was 27, only 27,000 blacks, and there was 200. There was 200,000, 23,071 whites. Okay, and then you see it goes all the way up to 1750. You got almost a million whites, and in 1750 you got almost a quarter of a million blacks. All right, so now we're gonna go further now. So now we back in the 1700s, now, right? So in 1760 you got 325,000 blacks, and in the 1700s you got 1.2 200,000 67,819 whites, and it goes all the way through. So you see here, but look, so they telling you the way Europeans reproduce, right? Look how the numbers are just jumping up, but look at the numbers against the blacks. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though that they're multiplying, but look how fast these numbers are multiplying. And we know Europeans don't even reproduce like that. European sperm cells don't even reproduce. Like, do you see the numbers of how they is jumping up? It doesn't really make no sense when you really think about it, and you think about the European genome, and how they really, like I said, their sperm count to African American sperm count is probably maybe like 90,000 less than what African American can produce in one ejaculation. Okay, so we're gonna go down. We're gonna go to the 1850s now. Okay, so only in the 1850s is when you start seeing Hispanics. All right, so 1850, you got 100, you got 100,000, 16, 943 Hispanics. Okay, and this, look at the number. Then in 1850, you got 3,638,808 blacks. I mean blacks. So now look at the number. Now look at the number, 1860. You got, and just pay attention to the numbers of how the European numbers is also jumping, because like look, it's going like they going the way they going 10 to 12 million, having 10 to 12 million babies every decade. Look at this. It's jump. Look how it jumped. Back here in the 1850 was only 19 million. But in the 1900s, I mean, a lot of this right here that you see these numbers jumping is from the immigration of these people coming here. But you see that these numbers still kind of like stagnant. So you're saying in the 1920s there was only 10 million blacks, right? 1920 there were 10 million blacks and Hispanics. There was only 1.2. There was only 1.2 million Hispanics in this country. This is in the 1920s. Now look, the 1920s. Okay, so I want to know, where was these people? How did these people build anything? Because they didn't even have enough numbers over here to build anything. And like I said, if you look at it, their numbers just started from when you go back up here. When you go back up here, back to, well, let me see. Look, when you go to the 1940, 1840, you don't even see no Hispanics on there. Even when you go all the way to, well, in the 1850s, you start seeing Hispanics right here or whatever. But the numbers, this is when you first start seeing them, according to what the research I have done right here. So then, if you go down to the 1930s, so now 1940s, you got 2 million Hispanics, you got 12 million blacks, which I know that these numbers are wrong, and these numbers might not be wrong, but look how many Europeans you got. So I want to just know what immigrants built this country. If you want to consider whites as immigrants, which they are immigrants or whatever, a lot of them did build certain things in this country, and I'm not gonna take that away from them, okay? But a lot of these Hispanics and these illegal immigrants who claiming that immigrants built this country, it wasn't you though. Y'all didn't build shit. Y'all didn't build nothing, but you keep on saying, "Oh, immigrants built this country," so that makes you can just come here legally and just use and ride off of the backs of everybody else. So I'm saying, well, they built that shit right there is the phoniest shit ever. And this is what a lot of these people do. And this is shit that get me mad because, first of all, blacks are not immigrants. We are not motherfucking immigrants. So if you include us in building a country, don't include us as being immigrants. Include us as aborigines of North America. Okay? But see, they try to act like they don't count us because we think we was born here on a slave ship, so we don't count ourselves. Okay? Like I said, look at the numbers. Now, from the 1950s, you had little over 3 million Hispanics here. You had a little bit over 3 million Hispanics here. You had 15 million blacks. Okay? Now look how the numbers is jumping up. It went all the way from 3 million in 1950 to 35 million 50 years later. So their numbers increased. Then their numbers increased dramatically. Look. So now we got in the 1990s, or even in the 1980s. 1980s is 14. I guess the immersion all came right here after this. This is when I see the immersion came right here along the 60s, from the 60s until now. So the United States was established in 1776. So how did you establish anything? How did you create anything when I showed you the census? Let's see the census of 1770. We're gonna start 1780 right here. So let's see. The United States was established 1776. So let's see, was they even here in this country in 1776? Nope, they weren't here. Now you start seeing them because these aren't nothing but Mexicans that's coming in. These are not like the Latinos that come from the island, or the Tainos like that's from the Cubas or Puerto Rico or the Dominicans, and none of them. A lot of them didn't start coming here until around here. They ain't start coming to this country till around here, 1970s, 1980s. This is when you start seeing all these numbers of Hispanics emerge. This is when you start seeing them. Like I said, how do you go from 1960, there was 5 million Hispanics here. 1970, there's almost 9 million. 1980 is almost 15 million. 1990, there's almost 22 million. 2000. Now look at the numbers. Now in 2000, it's 35 million, and look how many it is of blacks in 2000. It's only 34,000. So look at this. Look at this. These people just got here. And they act like they earned so much right to be in this country, but they only riding off of people who came before them and trying to involve and include themselves with them. You understand? Now I'm gonna go to an article and say we built this. Black people built America, and America won't stop killing us. Okay? So like I said, we already know who built this country. This is just a little punk ass article that I found or whatever. I'm not gonna go over it, but you are more than welcome if you want to look it up. It's on the Roots or whatever. The Root, I guess the Root.com. The Root.com. Look at the link right here or whatever though. But there's plenty of articles out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got other population charts right here. I got other population charts. Now we start right here. Look, it says 1860s, and this is from. Let me see. This ain't from WikiLeaks. This is from InfoPlease. So this is infoplease.com or whatever. All of the census chart that I seen, they all had different numbers on. They all wasn't pretty much the same. The numbers was definitely off on some of them or whatever. I don't believe none of the numbers, period. But I do know that from my history and my studies that the majority of these people in this country, these white people that you see here in the 1700s, they was all slaves. A good majority of them were slaves. A good majority of them were slaves. So let's look at this. So 1860, right? So we got 1860 here. We got the different, I guess, racial classifications. Let me see. Let me make sure. All right. So this is kind of confusing because it got whites under total. All right. So I guess this will be total whites in this column right here. So it say 85% of the United States was all Europeans or whatever in 1860. So I guess it say foreign born, native born, or whatever, saying that most of these Europeans was born in this country, right? So then you got blacks, right? And then you got other races. So other races in this country only made up to 0.3%. I mean, not 0.3%. And they go all the way up. So let's see, when do these populations start increasing? Because it's showing you, look, it's showing you, all right, so look, this is the years right here, and these are the, like I said, the racial categories or whatever. You notice that they only show white and black. They don't show other races. Other races could be a mixture of a lot of different races. So it ain't just gotta be Latino or other foreigners or other immigrants, or there could be a lot of different people mixed up in this or categorized in this as other races. But we see the percentage of it, right? So when do we start seeing the percentage of it jumps up? See this right here. In the 1960s, what I tell you, in the 1960s, right? Well, they still not even 1% of the population, other races, right? So 1970, you got 1.4. 1980, you got 5.2. 1990, you got 3.8. 2000, you got 10.1. Remember when we seen that crazy increase of the different immigrants? Let me see, up right in here, like right here. You see this? Remember I showed you 2000, it was 35 million, and it was only 34 million blacks or whatever. So let me see. So this shows it right here when that increase came. But them numbers are showing that it's more Hispanics and Latinos in this country than it is black. So, man, look, man. A lot of these people be riding off with a rhythm, talking about they created something or they came here and helped out, whatever. Yeah, a lot of these people just got here. But like I said, a lot of these people, they wasn't discriminated. They've been discriminated against because they came here willingly. You came here willingly. You knew these people was racist over here. So don't come here and complain when you get here. And then you think because you're illegal and you hard working, you have plenty of hard working blacks who never really got the opportunity. Now the opportunity is available to them. A lot of black people don't even know that they have these opportunities. You understand? The European, I mean, these immigrants come over here and jump on everything moving. They jump on everything moving, and then once they get their self in weaving in the society with a little bit of finances or whatever, they like, oh, they feel like they the same as you, but they not. They not the same as you. So look, man, I just want to touch on that. Immigrants ain't built shit. European immigrants help blacks, or blacks built this country or whatever. But like I said, ain't no immigrants built shit because there wasn't even no immigrants in this country in the fucking 1860s. Like I said, I showed you the majority, and I showed you, and I'm showing you right here. I'm showing you other races from 1860. In 1860, there was only 0.3%. There was only 0.3%. You understand? And now look, 1870, 1880, 1890, 1900s. So all around here, this is the percentage of people who claim that they built this country outside of these numbers, which are European, the European immigrants or whatever. Okay, and then you got your blacks right here. Okay, so like I said, man, you know, it's a lot of this shit, man. A lot of this shit is crazy and it's not easily understood because a lot of these numbers are wrong, and we know a lot of these people was the whites that was in this country was slaves. So man, I'm gonna stop this video here. Man, I ain't really want to go too long. Sorry about the rant, but I'm out, yo. Conscience point. Peace.